There's a moment every man faces, a moment of silence, no text, no call, no signal that she still cares. And in that silence, you feel it. The anxiety, the self-doubt, the temptation to reach out one more time just to feel something again. But something powerful happens when you resist that urge, when you lean back instead of forward, when you stop chasing, stop pleading, stop waiting for her attention to validate your worth, because that's when the tables turn. She starts noticing your absence. She starts wondering why you've gone quiet. She starts chasing the very presence she once took for granted. It's not a trick. It's not manipulation. It's a return to your power. And if you're ready to stop playing the emotional game and start becoming the man who doesn't need to chase, this video is for you. Number 1, the trap of caring too much. You were raised to believe that if you care more, she'll care more. That if you love harder, she'll stay. So you gave her everything. Your time, your attention, your affection, unfiltered, unguarded, and unconditional. You bent your schedule for her. You texted first. You kept the conversations alive. You made plans, reassured her, and showed her in 1,000 small ways that she mattered. But here's what no one warned you about. When you overinvest emotionally in someone who hasn't earned it, you don't create intimacy. You create imbalance. You condition her to see your affection as predictable, your attention as background noise. It's not that she's evil or cold. It's that human beings devalue what they don't have to work for. When she knows she's the center of your world, she stops trying to be part of yours. You become safe, too accessible, too eager, and instead of rewarding that devotion, she starts drifting, not always out of cruelty, but out of instinct, because attraction thrives on polarity, on curiosity, on a sense of wonder, and when you're always there, there's nothing left to wonder about. That's the cruel irony. The more you give without boundaries, the more invisible you become. Number 2, the psychology of pullback. Let's step back and get clinical for a second. Human attraction isn't just about looks or charm, it's about energy, emotional energy. In every dynamic, someone is in pursuit and someone is being pursued, and the balance of that pursuit determines how much value is perceived. When you're constantly pursuing, you flood the dynamic with certainty. She knows how you feel, she knows you'll be there no matter what, and without even realizing it, her subconscious mind starts devaluing the connection. Why? Because the mystery is gone. Now, this isn't about pretending. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about reclaiming your self-worth. You don't pull back to get her back. You pull back to get yourself back. Because the moment you stop obsessing over her reaction is the moment you return to emotional clarity. Suddenly, you're not texting out of anxiety. You're silent because you're focused. You're not checking in to soothe insecurity. You're building something real in your life. That energy shift is subtle but powerful, and women feel it deeply. They don't always understand it consciously, but they sense when a man is no longer orbiting them. And that absence, that shift in energy, that's what reignites the chase. Number 3, what not caring really means. Let's get rid of the confusion right now. Not caring does not mean becoming emotionally numb. It's not about being cold, toxic, or dismissive. It's about emotional detachment, the ability to love without losing yourself in the process. It means you don't measure your value by her attention anymore. You still care, but you care from a distance. You love, but you love with self-respect. You show up, but only for those who show up for you. You're not bitter, you're not angry, you're just centered, rooted, whole. That's what makes you magnetic. Because nothing is more attractive than a man who doesn't chase, not because he's playing games, but because his life is too full, too grounded, too purpose-driven to revolve around one person. And the irony? That's when she starts chasing. Not because you tried to make her jealous, not because you ignored her calls, but because you radiate something she can't control: peace. That's the one thing a woman can't manipulate. A man who's not afraid to walk away. A man who values his soul more than her validation. Number 4, the shift in her mindset. You want to know what happens in her head when you stop chasing? Confusion, reflection, regret. She notices the shift. Maybe not immediately, but it comes. That energy she used to feed on? Gone. That instant validation? No longer there. And that's when the silence starts getting loud. She starts revisiting old messages, watching your stories a little longer, asking mutual friends what you've been up to, not because she suddenly realized her love for you, but because she feels the vacuum your presence used to fill. This is not about revenge. It's not about manipulating her emotions. It's about you becoming the man who no longer needs to beg for affection. And when you embody that, truly, not performatively, she senses it. Her brain starts firing off questions. Did he lose interest? Did I push him too far? Did I make a mistake? These questions open the door to pursuit, and that's when the chasing begins. But by then, you're not sitting by your phone, waiting. You're living, evolving, building. That's the real win. Number 5. The comeback doesn't define you. Here's the truth most men never realize until it's too late. Getting her back isn't the win. Becoming a man who doesn't need her back is. Because by the time she comes around again, and many women do once they feel the loss, you're a different man. You're no longer checking for her validation. You're no longer trying to fix what went wrong. You're evaluating, choosing, observing. You're no longer operating from lack. You're operating from abundance. This isn't about becoming heartless. It's about recognizing that your value doesn't come from her return. It comes from your own return to discipline, to purpose, to inner strength. And when you become that man, you see her differently. You see yourself differently. And you realize she was never the prize. The prize was your ability to let go, to move on, to stop letting one person's attention define your entire emotional world. That's when you stop chasing. That's when you start attracting, not just her, but better, stronger, realer. And whether she comes back or not, you've already won. If you're still watching this, it means you're waking up. You're waking up to the truth that your value is not negotiable, that your presence is powerful, that your heart, while open, does not belong in the hands of someone who doesn't know how to hold it. You're not weak for caring, but you are stronger when you stop giving your energy away without boundaries. So here's your move. Focus on you. Every time you want to check her page, go lift. Every time you want to text her, go read. Every time you want to beg for clarity, get silent and become your own clarity, and watch what happens. Not only will she start to notice, but so will the world. Because when a man chooses himself, the universe conspires to reward him, not just with women, but with purpose, power, peace. So if this message resonated, don't just listen, act. Subscribe for more real talk on masculine energy, emotional intelligence, and becoming the version of yourself you were always meant to be. And drop a comment. Let me know where you're at in your journey and what shift you're ready to make. Because trust me, once you stop chasing, they all start wondering what they lost.